Here is this is actually the protest video where I was. This was a
Who's
very
recording?
funny.
Is this you recording?
This is me recording, and I was also speaking into my microphone. I didn't combine the sounds here. This is kind of raw footage. Here's Vivian. We're walking.
You didn't tell me you're at a pro-Palestine. Speaking at a pro-Palestine rally, man. That's rough. I thought you were on the other side.
This is Caroline. So she always has this thing. She just stands there with a sign in her hand at the protests, and it drives them crazy. It drives them nuts. There were so many people with her just standing there, going to her and just trying to take her signs away, shouting at her, cussing at her in the most brutal ways, spitting at her, and so on. And all she is doing, she's not even saying anything. All she's doing is just standing there. Just standing there. It's amazing. Believe Israeli women. And here we have pro-rape protesters, pro-terrorism protesters, pro-rape protesters, pro-Hamas protesters. So here, as you can probably hear, I just said here we have pro-Hamas protesters. This guy here in the red, standing right in front of me, heard that. And immediately turned around. You can't see it on camera, but he turned around immediately. He was like, "What did you say?" And then he immediately heads over to a police officer standing there and wants them to remove me from here, saying that I called them all Hamas and I insulted them and attacked them. Look at these Islamists. Look at this guy. Look at these people. And this police officer is like, he's just trying to push him away here. He says, I heard you. You said Hamas protest. I'm like, that's not what I said. I mean, I didn't say it's a Hamas protest. I said it's a pro-Hamas protest.
Wait, isn't it amazing that there's always, like, 100% of the time, whatever the situation is, there's the goal of them being able to do whatever they want, and everyone else has to keep their mouth shut about it. I mean, think about this: it's we get to scream against Israel and scream for pro-terrorist causes 24/7, and if you say one word that is remotely critical, it's, oh my God, I can't believe it.
Help, please help me.
Help, we're being oppressed. Help, we're being oppressed.
Help me, please help me. Then he comes to me and he's like, show me your footage, show me your camera. I'm like, no, I'm not showing you anything.
Dude, you're supposed to say, I can't show you the footage, but I will show you these nuts. Okay. Because I travel light and don't bring underwear.
So as you can see, who are pro-terrorism, who are pro-rape, who are pro-Hamas. I'm still saying it right there. The funny thing is, so this guy is acting like me saying that this is a pro-Hamas rally and pro-terrorism rally and pro-rape rally is an insult, and I'm not allowed to say that, and he can therefore complain against me that I should be removed. There is no such thing. There is no such thing. There is a thing in Germany that I cannot personally directly insult or threaten someone or attack somebody. They can make a complaint about me over that, but there is no such rule that I can't describe a collective, a rally, a cause as pro-Hamas or pro-rape or pro-terrorism. It is a pro-terrorism, it is a pro-rape, it is a pro-Hamas rally. And it's also a very pathetic one, which I also pointed out earlier in the video here. There are just like there were more police officers than protesters here.
Yeah, that's pretty weak. I mean, we've seen like tens of thousands of people marching through streets, screaming and stuff like this.
And then there is this kid here. He comes here. He was the first one who actually started fighting with me. And then what I did was he was saying F Israel or something like that, and So I just unzipped my shirt.
Yeah.
I just unzipped my shirt. I did it first here, and then I think I showed it to him directly. And then he went really mad. Oh, man. But these are not things I'm not allowed to do, you know? I mean, screw these people. Then they started harassing me, being around me, coming toward me. At some point, there were police officers getting closer and closer to me. You can't see them on camera. I didn't point the camera at them, but they were getting closer and closer. But as soon as he and then the police officer came to me and said, please turn off the camera for a second. You have to come with me.
That's when you're supposed to say, oh yeah, I can remember another German who said, turn your camera off and come with me.
Yeah.
Then he invaded Poland. That's what you're supposed to say.
Exactly. What I learned after this is that when he told me to please turn off my camera, I didn't actually have to turn off my camera. He could have, however, if I refuse to obey, they could detain me temporarily for obstructing whatever, the process or something like that. But normally it is not legally required for me to comply with their demand to turn off my camera. I can simply keep it on. I, however, just wanted to make things simple, didn't want to cause any problems here, so I just did as they wish. I still had my microphone here on, though, so I kind of audio recorded the whole thing. It's all there. I want to put this together and publish it later. But what they did is, they pulled me aside, and they said, you have to come with me over there to the police vehicles. There is a complaint against you that you personally insulted and attacked certain people here. And I'm like, what? That
lying crybaby.
That never 100%
happened. 100% of the time. Lying
that never happened. Who complained? And they're like, you just have to come with us. We have to investigate this. We just have to take your statement, and this is just what we do with everyone. It's like this is normal procedure. I'm like, okay, I didn't say anything. Okay, yes, you can explain this to us. And then I was walking with them. Then I thought to myself, wait a minute. Wait, if they can just say that I attacked them, and you therefore have to detain me temporarily and have to take a statement from me, does this mean that I can also just accuse them of insulting and attacking me? Will you then also have to detain them and take a statement from them? And the police officer is like, yeah, technically, yes. And then I'm like, okay, I want to make a complaint.
Dude, hey, that's when you should be like, that guy over there, he tried to touch my weenie. He tried to touch my bratwurst, yeah.
And the police officer is like, are you sure you want to make a complaint? I'm like, yes, I can even show you the video. I have it right here. I have it recorded right here. I can show it to you right here. So he's like, okay, can you give me a rough description of the person you want to accuse? And I'm like, I don't have to give you a rough description. It's like here on camera. So I just pointed at a random one of these people who was engaging with me the most. And that happened to be this guy here. Where is that? That happened to be this little guy here.
AP.
What?
And the next time you do
this guy here.
So that guy, like that dude, right? Like the next time you're doing this, see, these are the things you got to learn, right? And so now you know that these guys will run to the police and they'll have to take your statement and stuff, right? So what you do is every time you point a camera at one of these guys and he's close, you point the camera at him and he starts saying something, then like sort of jump back with the camera and go, whoa, he tried to touch my vena, right? And you won't show it, but you'll have kind of video evidence. Oh my goodness, right?
Oh my goodness. So the police went over to this guy and told him that they have to detain him. This guy, of course, a complete idiot, started resisting. What happened next is that the police started getting violent with him because he is resisting arrest. So they started getting violent with him and violently arresting him. And in fact, it was also shared. And this is very, very interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, this is very, 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 very interesting. I experienced directly here firsthand exactly what they do with children in the Gaza Strip and in the West Bank. Exactly here. It turns out that this guy here is actually allegedly 16 years old. And it turns out that he apparently has a mental problem and he can't contain himself. So he starts shouting stuff at them. They use him to attack and provoke people. And then when he gets in trouble, when police starts detaining him, he resists and they beat him up, and they then record it and put it on the internet as police harassing and mistreating a child during a pro-Palestine rally because they are oppressing him. That's what they make it about. In fact, it started going around. Here it is. Berlin police assaulted a 16-year-old boy during a solidarity stand with Palestine. This happened after.
Wait, hold on. You're the one who got that kid in trouble?
Yes.
What the heck, man?
So I pointed at this guy. They went over to detain him. He then resisted and started shouting at them and kind of hitting back at them and so on, because apparently he can do it. And then they start hitting him, and one of the officers actually punches him in the face.
Sehen Sie das? Gewalt, Gewalt, wie Sie sehen, das Gewalt, Gewalt. Und Sie lassen mich nicht das aufnehmen.
So this is the arrest here.
Now we know what makes AP happy, causing chaos like this. Hey, when you're talking about them using certain young people like that, I've seen that before in Germany. Isn't there like a famous one, like some young dude who looks like massively inbred that kept appearing in like tons of videos of the protests in Germany? I remember some. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, so they took some young guy who's the product of at least 100 generations of first cousin, if not sister marriage, and every time there's a protest, he's out there getting beat up by police, and it's getting posted all over the place. Look, they're beating up this kid.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Hey Junge, hör auf jetzt! Sehen Sie das?
Did you see that punch in the face? I also talked to somebody who works closely with the police after this event, and I explained what happened, and they said it's no surprise. By the way, the police was amazing. They were so to me they were so good. They were very nice to me. They were extremely helpful to me. I was also very I complied with everything. I did whatever they said, gave my statement, and so on. The police was very good to me, and in fact, when they were letting me go, they also saw, of course, that when I complained about these guys, and these guys became incredibly problematic, they also started gathering in threatening ways around the police, and I think I might have some audio recordings, but this kid and others started shouting like anti-German things, anti-police statements, anti-Israel, and also directly anti-Jewish statements. I heard this kid with others shouting things like Scheiß Juden, which means, shit Jews, and also calling Jews child molesters, calling Jews murderers, and so on, things like that. And I'm standing there with the police officer. I'm like, do you hear this? Isn't this directly illegal as hate speech? And the police is like, I can't comment on anything at this moment. But anyway, so after all of this contrast, the police actually came to me and said, like, the police officer in charge who took my statement and everything came to me and with a smile on his face said, I thank you and I hereby declare you released. And I'm like, oh, thanks. Cool. So they were very nice to me.
Yeah, you could have gone about that very differently. As soon as they started like, hey, we have a report about you, you could have been like, You could have been like, why? Because I'm Turkish? Are you racist against Turkish people? Look, he's oppressing me because I'm Turkish. Look at these Nazis. These Nazis hate the Turks.
That might work with the British police. It doesn't work with the German police, unfortunately.
Well, what's funny is it would have made you famous among Turks, right? Look, they're jealous of us because we're Turks and they know we're superior to them. You'd be like the new hero of Turkey. Probably make you the new prime minister.
Yeah. So yeah, they took him away, and it was an interesting.
Hey, dude, you mentioned the parallel with Gaza and so on. But I mean, think about this, right? What did he do? He stirred things up and got a reaction from the police, and then they post the footage to show, you see, they're being oppressed. But exact same MO. They'll send little kids to throw rocks at Israeli soldiers and so on until the IDF like snatches up the kids, and then they all record it going, look, they're coming after little children.
Apparently this kid is famous. There are multiple videos of him just at different protests or different events harassing people. This is the same kid just going into a Starbucks and jumping around with a flag and so on. So apparently this guy is famous for doing that and for just doing provocative garbage against random people and so on. That's what they do. They play the victim, they provoke, then they get beat up, and they're like, oh, look at this, we're being oppressed. Why is this happening to us? Why are they oppressing us, man? Why is this happening?